자금성. The Forbidden City. How big is the Forbidden City, the largest palace in the world? It is large enough to fit 100 soccer fields at once. The walls are 10 meters high, which is about the height of a 3-story apartment building, and the path on top is wide enough for 3 cars to drive side by side. The person who first built this huge palace was Emperor Yongle, the 3rd emperor of the Ming Dynasty. Actually, it was not his turn to become emperor, but he took the throne from his nephew, Emperor Jianwen. Worried that someone else might take his place, Emperor Yongle began building this massive castle to show off his power. There is a legend that the Forbidden City has 9,999.5 rooms. The story says that since the God of Heaven has 10,000 rooms, the Emperor, the Son of Heaven, could not dare to match that number and left out half a room. However, according to an actual survey, there are about 8,700 rooms.
Short script.
The emperor couldn't have 10,000 rooms because that was only for God. 황제도 만칸을 가질 순 없었대요. 그건 신의 영역이었거든요.
However, the construction of the Forbidden City caused many people to cry. Once, they had to move a huge marble stone weighing 250 tons. In the cold winter, people poured water on the road to freeze it, then slid the stone over the ice for a month. In addition, they transported giant trees from 2,100 kilometers away. However, just 3 months after the Forbidden City was finished, lightning struck the palace and the main buildings burned down. People whispered that it was a punishment from heaven because the emperor took the throne from his nephew and made the people suffer. Emperor Yongle was deeply shocked by this event, so he asked his officials for 구원, which means seeking honest feedback about his mistakes. Omun. Omun is the main gate of the Forbidden City, and its 5 entrances were strictly limited by rank. Only the emperor could use the center gate, but the empress was allowed to enter just once on her wedding day. The other doors were also strictly divided. Officials used the east door, and royal relatives used the west door. 금수교. The 5 bridges each represent Confucian virtues. Only the emperor could cross the center bridge. This place represents the water part of 배산임수. 외조, 황제의 공식적인 정치의 장. 태화전. It is the biggest and tallest building in the Forbidden City, used for the most important national ceremonies like the emperor's coronation or weddings. 중화전. It is a small, square building where the emperor took a rest or practiced his steps before going to the Hall of Supreme Harmony. 부화전. It is the last hall of the outer court. It was a place to change clothes during the Ming Dynasty, but during the Qing Dynasty, it was used for the final civil service exams or banquets. 내정. 황제와 황후의 삶이 머무는 사적인 생활의 장. 건청궁. It is the first palace of the inner court, where emperors of the Ming and early Qing dynasties worked on daily business and slept. 교태전. This building is located between the emperor's house and the empress's house. It was used for the empress's birthday parties. It was also a place to keep the royal seals, which are the official stamps of the emperor. 곤영궁. It is the last palace of the inner court. It was the empress's bedroom during the Ming Dynasty and was used as a wedding room or a place for rituals during the Qing Dynasty. 보화전답도. Behind the Hall of Preserving Harmony, there is the largest marble carving. It is a huge stone path called Dunong Daesokjo, measuring 16.75 meters long, 3 meters wide, and weighing 250 tons. The emperor passed over this carving in a sedan chair, while the carriers walked on the stairs on both sides. On this pathway, where the emperor floated over, dragons, clouds, waves, and the sea were carved. 태화전 잡상. In traditional Chinese architecture, the number of roof figures shows the rank of the building. Usually, an odd number 3, 5, 7, 9 is used. However, the Hall of Supreme Harmony is the only building in the world with 10 figures on its roof. At the very front, a dynamic figure called Son Ingibong, an immortal riding a phoenix, is leading the way. 경산공원. If you look down at the Forbidden City, all the buildings are in a perfectly straight line. This was done carefully to show that the emperor is the center of the world. At the end of this line, there is an artificial hill called Jingshan Park. It was made by piling up dirt from the moat, a ditch dug to stop enemies, and soil used for floor bricks to stop assassins. In the old days, people thought a great place must have a mountain in the back and water in the front. So, the emperor made this Bisanimsu by hand.